Hey, I'm Herald sports writer Manny Navarro.
And I'm Fernandez.
And this is not just the Gridiron Report, it's a preview for National Signing Day. All right, Dre, so we're about a week away from National Signing Day. I know a lot of fans out there are like, okay, what's the deal with all these Dade and Broward kids? Where are they going to end up going? Who's going to flip? Who's going to stick? Who's already enrolled? We already got a bunch of kids enrolled, right? I mean, you look at the list here, and who are the people that won't be signing on signing day because they're already gone?
Well, you know, Devontae Phillips is already a Seminole. He's already up in Tallahassee, all signed, sealed, delivered. Most recently, Tim Irvin changed his mind, and now he's enrolled at Auburn as well.
Instead of Texas.
Sean Burgess-Becker has already enrolled at Alabama. So that's three notable names right there that have taken care of business. They didn't do any hat tricks, any suspense. They're in. They've picked their school and are already there.
You can take a look at our list here, the charts of the top 25 recruits in Dade County. Obviously, some of these guys that are already enrolled, Jaquan Johnson, high up there on the list. He's down there at the University of Miami. Dre mentioned Devontae Phillips from Miami Central is at Florida State. Now, we do have some lists as we look at Dade County of guys that are uncommitted or guys that could be flips, and that's why we're doing the show, so we could talk about some of these guys.
Make sense of the chaos.
Let's start with the number one guy in Dade County that I think is potential to be exciting here. Jordan Cronkite, the running back from Westminster Christian, committed to Miami for early in the process, decommitted from them. What's the latest with Jordan?
Well, I mean, he did visit UM recently, but right now I think the interesting part is you don't hear too much about the Gators getting too many commitments down here at all, and that could change if Jordan decides, I'm going to Gainesville, I'm going to go play with Treon Harris up there. Seems like the Gators have made a push for him, so we'll see. On signing day, it seems like we'll all find out. Jordan's going to wait till then to announce it to the world, but the Gators have a good shot at him right now.
Yeah, Randy Shannon and company. Right now, their class is ranked 102nd by Rivals.
They need someone like that.
I don't know if you knew that or not, but it's really bad.
Yeah,
they've got 9 commitments, and the Gators badly need a kid like Jordan Cronkite,
Yep.
and I think essentially that's where he's going to end up. One good thing, Andre, last week we got a chance to talk to a lot of these guys when they came in for their all-county photos.
Yeah.
And I will say Jordan Cronkite told me he's going to make his decision National Signing Day. He didn't really know what he was going to do yet. Notre Dame was also in the mix for him.
Yeah.
And then Devontae Davis, you know, he told me when the cameras were shut off, I'm solid 100% to Texas. Now,
Right.
when a kid still takes a visit, you never know what ends up happening.
True, but like I said, that's why I think in the end he may end up being a Longhorn after all, just because he's had a good relationship with them the whole time.
Antonio Callaway, undecided Booker T. Washington teammate, played only half the season for the Tornadoes this year, but highly coveted. Hurricanes in the mix.
Great wide receiver.
Great wide receiver. West Virginia in the mix for him as well. And the Gators were his favorite team growing up. My gut tells me UM. What do you think that happens with Callaway?
Well, UM's trying to swing the whole package deal where they've got Mark Walton. They want to get him on board. They want to get Devontae Davis. If they can get the 3, they can improve, recent, I guess you could say recruiting atmosphere that's been going on with them. So, but I think they have a good shot at Callaway. I agree.
So obviously some interesting stories in Dade County. Let's look to Broward. People have been chiming up on the internet saying, oh, maybe Calvin Ridley will decommit from Alabama and head to Miami. I don't think that's happening.
I doubt it, just because, Alabama's a good fit for him right now. That's a great program. He's been solid the whole time. I think UM is trying to make a push for him late, but it's going to be really hard to see him flip on the tide for that one.
Torrance Gibson, Ohio State commitment, going to be visiting the Hurricanes this weekend. Javon Durante, wide receiver Miramar, had been committed to West Virginia, seemingly solid, but what's some new buzz about?
A little bit on Alabama, speaking of the tide. Looks like they're trying to make a late push to try and get him. I mean, we'll see. Again, West Virginia always had that strong connection with those guys at Miramar because of Damon Cogdill. So, again, it would be hard for me to see him back off at the last minute, but you never know.
One interesting guy who hasn't been committed to anybody throughout this whole process, Devontae Pete, the wide receiver from St. Thomas Aquinas, played more tight end this year. What's kind of latest with Devontae?
Well, he's got a few. I mean, he's got Louisville, the Seminoles are coming after him, Ohio State is coming after him. Imani Spence just committed to Louisville. We know that. So maybe, again, Broward ties might land with the Cardinals. Maybe, they're still trying to get that program back to where it was when Teddy Bridgewater was the quarterback. So he'd be a good fit, that's for sure. He's a good, solid kid, good size. We've seen him play on the field, and we know what kind of receiver he can be. Looks
like things are going to be kind of interesting at St. Thomas. Obviously, we all know about Jordan Scarlett. He's taking visits to Florida this past weekend, visiting Florida State. The final weekend, he's University of Miami commitment. But a couple of other players from that state championship team, Damon Arnett, a wide receiver, basically is a South Carolina commit, but Michigan and Ohio State, I guess, are in the mix for that. And then you look at
Rashard
Kazi. Yeah.
Yep.
What's going on with him?
He's he backed off from FAU, and he's visited Wisconsin. He's got a bunch of schools also in the mix. It looks like he's opened his recruiting up again, and could be another kid that takes it right down to the wire until next week. So we'll see. Another quality player.
And we will be there to bring it all to you. Video. We'll have Justin and his cohorts out on the scene videotape, and you and I will be out all over Dade and Broward County reporting.
Yep.
So stay tuned to Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. If you don't follow Andre already, make sure you do that. Follow Herald High School Sports as well. You know me, Manny Navarro. All the Canes fans do anyway. You follow us on Twitter. We'll have updates for you throughout the day.
Yep.
But for now, Dre, we got a lot of work ahead of us this week.
Make sure you set your alarm for 6 a.m. that day.
Long day, National Signing Day.